I gotta stay on my grind with this at least until I reach the sky. There's gotta be more than this, we can't just breathe to die. Give me a reason why you wouldn't wanna know how far you could go. Show this world what you got to show. It ain't about the
It's open season late night. I'm the Demon. We're here with D-Toxx. Thank you for sitting down and talking with me. What's new? How are things since COVID and everything?
Yeah, I mean, COVID shut down the world, and I decided, and I can't just stop because of that.
Yeah.
So I got the studio in the house, the bar in the house, karaoke in the house. So we just entertained ourselves with like close personal friends that we knew were
There you go.
also quarantined.
Perfect. So you kept it going.
Kept
it
going.
going. Well, getting right into things. When do you think you were first introduced to a hip hop scene here in Hamilton?
Yeah, that was 1998.
Yeah.
I moved up here and fucking got to Hamilton.
So
Yeah.
like for you, what was your
So-
like first introduction to it here?
My second day in Hamilton, I asked my uncle, I'm like, hey, where are like the hip hop shops around here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I want to go check out the city. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I honestly have no idea about hip hop, but there's a store down on King Street that sells clothes like the ones you're wearing. It's probably a good place to start. So I'm walking, I'm looking for this store, and I walk up, and right there on the corner of King Street is this dope ass green bike. I look up, there's fucking Fubu and Echo
Yeah.
all through the windows. I walk inside, it's the Boom Spot.
Yep.
First person I meet, Eclipse,
Yep.
Leon Robinson.
Yeah.
Right?
Easily the godfather of Hamilton's.
You know what I
scene, man.
mean? I was like, I literally walked into the city and just fucking met the top tier person that I could possibly
Yeah,
meet.
the best person you could
you know
possibly
what
meet,
I
man.
mean?
Yeah, about
Um,
getting into the scene and knowing what's up.
Mm.
Yeah, number one, especially at that time with Boom Spot.
I'm in there, I'm just talking to him, and I'm like asking him about the mixtapes, and he was like, yo, you know what I think you need? And he sold me a CD, like a burnt CD,
Okay.
full of like industry beats from like at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, holy shit. I don't even know if it was a burnt CD, but it was a CD.
Yeah.
It must have had 15 beats on it. I probably wrote 50 songs to that CD.
Yeah.
I met him. I was all hyped up. I had this CD. I went home. I probably didn't leave my house for a month after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
was still summertime, blah, blah, blah. At the time is when the internet really started popping,
Yep.
and you could go, what was the website? mp3.com?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Yep.
I think that was the website, and there was like producers that would like post up
shit, yeah,
for
man.
free.
Yep.
No tags, no you can purchase this beat at. It was just like
Just download.
somebody rapped to my beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I started going through these beats and lining them up to lyrics that I wrote and it was called Lyrical Assassin. I was trying to find like a place to do live shows.
Yeah.
And there was like nowhere. Along this time, I met a kid that lived not too far from me down by Gage Park, just like walking along, same kind of thing. Like, yo,
Yeah.
man, like those are your rhymes, you're dope. So, boom.
Yeah.
I got myself a best friend.
Yeah.
Styles Jenkins, right?
Okay, yeah.
Native dude, super cool guy.
Cool.
Lived by Gage Park, grew up in Oriole Crescent. So after hanging out with Sean a little bit, he introduced me to some other dudes from Oriole Crescent.
Yeah.
Who ended up eventually becoming Men of Steel. And we got all together and we're like, yo, let's like do this music thing. You know what I mean? I got this little CD. So they knew like some bar owners and stuff. And we rented the basement of Oakwood Place on Barton Street.
Yeah.
And through our own show, like we built the stage with skids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And this was like different for me because before I went from like I would show up to a mall and they have a whole stage set up for me
Yeah.
to now I'm like doing my own shit. So it was like a reverse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we did like our first show. It went well. Lots of people were talking about it.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't realize how much of like a crew I had.
Yeah.
Because like Oriole Crescent didn't mean anything to me, and these.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
back then, OC was
Right.
a thing. Oh yeah, man.
So, like I got this, and I got Rob Lamoth helping me, and then I'm doing this song. Like I was just flying through shit.
Yeah.
So I'm at a house party one night with everybody, and I'm talking about this, and this chick, I don't know if anyone will remember her. Her name was Nikki. Her rap name was Nikki T. I can't even say anything actually bad because she's a huge part of the history. Leaves the party, and the next day she calls the Jenny Jones show.
Right. I was about. And
So
I'm glad you're bringing that
I
up.
get a call from
So I
the
was
Jenny
gonna-
Jones show, like, hey, we got a call from this girl, and we're having you say you have talent, gonna be this huge star, we don't believe you kind of show.
Right.
Would you be interested in doing it? Your travel, accommodations is all paid for, and you get 500 American for doing it. And I'm like, how much? Like, what do I got to do? And they're like, just like one verse, like a long verse, like
Yeah.
a song. I'm like, all right, fucking, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I talked to the boys, and I'm like, yo, this is what's happening. There's gotta be a way to fucking monopolize on this, because Jenny Jones was huge at the time. What they suggested, and I absolutely did, was when you go on the Jenny Jones show, wear a Hamilton Ticats hat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Represent.
they're like, fucking kill it. And then at that point, like, I'm still fresh here within like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
No, not even, because it was 99 when I did
This
it.
is
So
still
a
within the
year.
year. Yeah.
This is 1 year,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Hey, there you go.
Right? So, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I went down there, did that, did my thing. So, boom, that was it. Came back to Hamilton. So it wasn't gonna air for like another 3 weeks.
Right.
How they
Yep.
do it. Like,
Yep.
everybody, I swear to God, these guys got together. This was the first time when I really realized like I had like the hood backing me up.
Yep.
Because they were like, yo, come down to my crib, blah blah. Dude, there must have been 70 people rammed in that apartment. All of us in the afternoon waiting for fucking me to be on Jenny Jones.
That's dope.
And that shit came on and we watched it, and it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Tie Cat hat, after that, everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, you're that kid from fucking Jenny Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I got known as that fucking kid that was from Jenny Jones.
Yeah.
Started getting into, they were throwing rap battles. Actually, Ill Hicks
Yep.
used to host them
At
right
the
down
Living
on,
Rock. Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had like a run. So
Yeah.
I had the music thing, the Jenny Jones thing,
Yeah.
and then the battle thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And
this
I-
battling was becoming a huge thing.
Right,
Too,
yeah.
right?
So I had like a run, like I was vicious. Like I can freestyle, like real freestyle, not
Yeah.
like spew out a few lines and throw in a bunch of written shit. Like I
Yeah.
can freestyle, not as good now, but when then
It's a muscle, right? Yeah.
Right,
It's
yeah.
a muscle. If you
I can still do it though. So
no.
nobody wants to fuck around. But I had a pretty good run, and then we were doing some shows. We got booked for like shows here and there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So that's kind of circa early 2000s now of Hamilton. And I know at that time,
Well-
a few things were starting to pop, right? Like there was the battles that were going on
Mm-hmm.
in the cut.
Live and Direct was one of my first interviews.
Yep.
My very first one in Hamilton was with Rick Taylor.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, everybody's got to go through Rick.
You know what
at
I
one
mean?
Point. Yeah, of
Um,
course. If you're in music in Hamilton in general, you don't. It's one of those things where you kind of don't feel like you've gotten established into the scene.
Until you,
You know, there's a few check marks, right?
right?
Rick Taylor's one of them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hip Hop for Hunger, because that was like a really big thing for the city that you did.
Yeah, that ran for 5 years. 5 years. The first year I had Bishop Brigante,
Yep.
who I met through being around fucking Chocolare and my
Yeah.
show and them. And the next year I had Chocolare,
Yep.
because after I did those shows with them on the little tour, me and Chocolare worked it out, and we did that Drop That song.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the time, like, it sounds super dated now, and that's when like the whole rifle range, like I brought in fucking Men of Steel, we had Intense, we had fucking C4, and that was our crew, and we were booking shows, and we were fucking like doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a poppin' time for hip hop in Hamilton. Like that from 2010 to 2015 was I would say I used to call it during that time because that was where I came up, right? Like I'd already been doing basement rapping for a minute. Did a few shows through Stealth and the High Cats, like opening for them, but hadn't really established anything in the scene. And then it was through Steel Gold and during that era, right? And I was calling it the renaissance of Hamilton hip hop, because you just saw the creativity coming out the woodwork through every like facet of the city. And it was the first time that it felt like all of the little pocketed scenes that happened in Hamilton
were coming
together into like one spot downtown. We were all meeting and doing these shows. We were all putting each other on. You know, so it's like it's interesting to see everybody starting to slowly come out again. And with the start of this year, when I did the open season show, that was hyped, man. Like it felt like Hamilton was ready for hip hop again. We were just getting our feet on the ground again, and then it's fucking halted. But I think that it gave us time. You know, it's a good time to just take pause and build. And now, me, you, Stealth, we're trying to build something again. I think this is the right steps that the community here needs, is us all getting together and working together.
Now I'm at the point where people who like grew up listening to me, I'm very connected with all the younger rappers.
Yeah.
Because their moms and dads were coming to my shows.
Like,
you know what I mean? So they're like, oh man, like you gotta check out D-Toxx, man, blah blah blah. So like I stay connected with like all the younger rappers, like Sizzy and Julius and them. You know what I mean? There's fucking Might Be Leo, Wes Gray, K Triggs.
I've been connected with that.
You know what I mean? There's like, I have that generation, and my other buddy, his kids are rappers now. Yeah. So I have like the next generation lined up too. I was like, I'm gonna be right.
It is exciting to see the future, man, and how it's coming, because I you worry about it every now and then with
and
some of the guys that come out.
And I'm glad there's some still real spitters, because I think a thing that put a huge damper on hip hop, especially in Hamilton, because we're a very lyrical, you know what I mean? Like we're like a
grassroots, blue collar,
right? Well, I mean, I do party music, but it's still lyrical.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, I just want to say thank you for coming out and doing this with me, man. I appreciate it. I'm excited to have you a part of the portrait series.
Yeah, man. I still have the last one that you
from
did
the original. 10 years ago, man. Well, 8 years ago, but I'm rounding up. 10 years ago was when the last one was done. That was my introduction into the scene, and being able to get to know everybody in a way was just like, hey, man, let me draw your fucking face. So,
it's
again,
smart.
Thank you, man. Is there anything you want to plug where people can reach you? What you got coming out? What's coming up soon?
I mean, hopefully by the time this book released, we'll get to say that insert name that me, you, and Stealth come up with, promotions, has like re-blossomed the fucking love of the scene and brought the city together. But I mean, I'm just doing me. I'm gonna work on music. I'm gonna help some young artists. I have like the ability now and the space to do it, and just keep doing what I've been doing. And you can find me on anything at fucking D-Toxx Hip Hop.
Nice.
Right? That's the brand.
D-Toxx
Hip Hop.
Hip Hop.
Right?
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
I don't need a gun for you, none of you, cause I can kill you dead with the lead from my number 2.
I don't need a gap for y'all, these lyrics here could crack your jaw. That goes out to everyone, you rappers who be yapping off, acting like you're macking. Reality? Jacking off, acting like you in the game. Reality? Whacking soft, this shit here's a mazel tov. You ain't ballin', calling charge, you popping off with shit online that's either